All right, can you let everybody know your name and your Instagram so they can follow you?
What's up, world? How y'all doing? It's your boy, Fernando Marrero, aka PBA, also known as the Philly Badass. But it's another time many eons ago in my former sports career. But you can find me on Instagram at team_PBA, PBA as in Philly Badass.
Awesome. What piece of advice you got early in your acting journey that still sticks with you?
Oh wow, piece of advice that still sticks with me early on. To be fearless. Be fearless. It's acting is, man, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. This industry not for the weak at heart. You're going to get a lot of rejection, along the way, but you just got to keep going. That's another piece of advice. Just keep going. Just be fearless. Just keep doing you. It's a war of attrition. Eventually, you're going to get your opportunity.
Right. Playing in the Daughters of Dolomite, what was your first reaction when you read through the script?
Oh man, I was just in stitches, man. Excuse my French, but laughing my ass off. Like it was funny. A lot of comedic moments, a lot of good chemistry between the various different actors, and some are iconic within the comedic genre and within our community. From you got the likes of Gary Anthony Sturgis. He's been doing his thing for a long time, pioneering. Very well trained. Miss Kathleen Bradley, Miss Parker from the Friday franchise, doing her thing. Mr. Hawthorne James. I mean, that's Big Red from the Five Heartbeats, and so many other, countless classic moments that Mr. James has given us, along with various other people that I've had the opportunity to co-star alongside in that project.
That's dope. If you could act alongside any actor, living or in the past, who would it be and why?
Oh wow! Right now, I would say because now I'm gonna just show love. Michael B. Jordan, holla at your boy. Ryan Coogler. You know what I mean? Much love, respect, salute, shout outs. Congratulations on the Academy Award. Win. Much deserved, and just another example of just greatness exuded. Exemplified, and how nothing is easily handed and crafted overnight. He's been doing his thing, ever since he's really, really young, as a young man, a young child in the industry, and just kind of, it's a war of attrition. He worked his way up, and he got his opportunity, and his crowning jewel moment was at the 98th Academy Awards, and Best Actor. But in the past, there's so many. Chadwick Boseman, Charlton Heston, Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Leo DiCaprio, the list goes on, and Benicio del Toro. There's so many phenomenal, great actors and actresses that I would love to have had the opportunity with in another multiverse, if you will, or, but, hey, never say never as far as, who's around and who's, still amongst us, in this realm of existence. And I'm just looking forward to whatever opportunities, and what God has for you is for you. And, it's all about alignment, and things are going to align how they're supposed to align.
Right. What's one behind the scenes moment from filming that fans would be surprised to know?
I can't give away too much, but there's a lot of funny behind the scene moments. But all I can say is just the chemistry was so crucial and important. And you just, when you have a cast like that, especially a diverse cast from all different walks of life coming together and just being able to coalesce and gel like family, essentially. And it was just a great moment, and that's the only way you're going to get that type of that project, when you got that type of chemistry amongst genuine, good, authentic people.
If you weren't an actor, what would you be doing?
Oh man, what I was doing in my former life, ex-military, law enforcement, MMA cage fighting. I did that for a long time. 2-time world champion, professional wrestling. I don't know, some sort of, thrill seeking. I'm an adrenaline junkie, so always looking to, champion the next chapter of my life.
How did the film challenge you creatively or push you out of your comfort zone?
Oh, wow. It definitely pushed me creatively. How did it do so? I mean, just to let go. I mean, just the opportunity to work with Miss Kathleen Bradley, Miss Parker. How you doing, Miss Parker? And to have that opportunity and, all her, years that she's given to the industry and her experience, her expertise, and just to share that screen time with her and just taking certain, cues and gems that she was giving me and everybody else was giving me, but just letting go, letting loose, and just relaxing. And I can't give away too much, but you'll check it out. It definitely was a funny spot, and all my scenes were with Miss Bradley, and definitely you guys are in for a treat. Funny stuff.
Sure. What's your favorite genre to act in? Comedy, drama, action, and why?
Action. Even though I've kind of found myself kind of pigeonholed into most of my work has been comedies, which is kind of interesting, but nonetheless, I love all genres, but action for sure, because I mean, what kid didn't grow up on wrestling or the kung fu movies on Saturday mornings, or some sort of whatever, Conan, Commando, Rambo, something like that, G.I. Joe. You always wanted to be a part of something that's action-packed, and to where I can showcase and display a lot of my, repertoire, a lot of my skill set, from my martial arts background to my stunt training to, other things that I can really bring to the table to lend credence to the role, believability, to the project, and just bankability, with me as a burgeoning force to be reckoned with in this industry, because, stay tuned, Fernando Marrero is on the rise.
How do you prepare for a role? Any unique rituals or routines?
Man, just a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, and usually, depending on the roles, I mean, I like to implement, method training, and just immerse myself into the role, into the mindset, the psychology, eating, breathing, sleeping. I love the method aspect, but that's just it. And if it's an action-packed role, just prepare my body, physically. Even though I stay in the gym and keep myself, nimble and athletic. But nonetheless, you still got to prepare depending on whatever the role is, and some action roles can be more physically arduous and demanding than others.
What's the dream project you'd love to work on? Genre, story, or even director?
Oh, wow. Man, director Ryan Coogler. I would love to work on, if there's a next Black Panther, movie to, come behind and kind of finalize, that franchise, or anything Marvel comic book. I hear Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing King Conan. It's in development at 20th Century Studios, so I would love to, get on the radar for that. Anything faith-based as well. I mean, Mel Gibson took a huge risk and gamble over 20 years ago with Passion of the Christ. It was such a global phenomenon and left a everlasting legacy and impact on the industry and the world. They're doing a two-part series as the second part. Basically, it's a sequel, so part 2 is a 2-part series. It's called Resurrection of the Christ, part 1 and 2. So we'll love to get in something like that. Any type of gladiator type, movie, gladiator, period piece, warrior type, something military based. Again, I'm ex-military, so definitely my real life experience and past and background can lend credence and believability to the character, to the role, and to the project.
In what ways do you see your background or life experiences shaping your acting?
Oh man, I mean, it shaped my acting. I mean, it shaped me, individually, as a man. I mean, your past, your experiences, your training, your expertise is something that definitely, forges you to become, who you are in the moment, in the present, and you know, it's a lot of good times, a lot of bad times, but nonetheless, I'm grateful, and you know, just grateful, thankful for all the experiences, however negative, however positive, you know, whatever issues, good, bad, indifferent, you know, relationships come, gone, lost, family, friends, whomever. I mean, but you know, that's the life of an artist and just life in general as we navigate this thing called life, you know.
Who has been your biggest supporter in your acting career, and how did they help you?
Oh wow! I mean, man, I wanna go ahead and say, you know, God, man, you know, God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I mean, that's definitely, you know, my source and, you know, what sustains me, because there's a lot of you know, loneliness on this very trodden path, you know, that, you know, we try to embark upon, you know, as a creative, as a multi-hyphenate within the industry. But I've had, you know, various friends, you know, family, you know what I mean, you know, my brother from another, you know what I mean, godfather of my kids, fellow actor himself, Jonesy Allende Jr., you know, fellow Boricua, you know, doing big things. My son, who's an Olympian, 2024 Paris Olympics, Jonathan Smith, wrestler representing Team Puerto Rico. I mean, that is something, you know, he's like my best friend. You know, I basically was a kid, I was a young father, raised him, and, you know, you know, now he's 25 and conquering the world, and an Olympian, and just living his best life. And, you know, he's kind of dabbled in the films as well. And, you know, hey, stay tuned for him. He's got a lot of big things coming down the pipe.
If you could give advice to aspiring actors watching, what would you say?
Don't give up. Don't give up. You know, it's a war of attrition. You know, it's about how long you can last. It's endurance. You know, this thing called the industry, it's a machine, and, you know, it's about timing, it's about momentum, and you gotta love what you do. You know, it's not always about the money. I mean, granted, you know, we would love to be the big, you know, A-list, red carpet, you know, big time, international, global presence, all that good stuff. But nonetheless, like with any and everything in life, you know, you got to find your true north. You got to find your purpose and your passion. And I'd rather take purpose over popularity, you know, any day. And, you know, I like to subscribe to what I call the 5 P's, you know, peace, power, progress, protection, and prosperity. And you got to find a piece of that in whatever aspect of your life, you know, whether that, you know, is in acting, whether that's in, you know, being, you know, a librarian, or being like a custodian, or being a police officer, doctor, dentist, lawyer, whatever. You know, whatever you choose to do and pursue in life, you got to make sure that, you know, that's something that you love to do and that you're happy with, no matter if you're making, you know, a ton of money or you're not making a ton of money. You got to do what makes you happy.
What's your favorite line from or scene from the Daughters of Dolomite?
Well, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna say my scene. You know, that was definitely some funny stuff, and definitely me and Miss Bradley, we the phenomenal Miss Kathleen Bradley, we have, you know, had some great chemistry, and learned a lot from her, and just again was such a blessing to share screen time with her.
What's been the most unexpected or funny fan interaction you have since the film?
I mean, just people coming up to me and, you know, not to give away too much about the film or whatever, but, you know, people start, you know, dangling handcuffs in front of me, or start smiling, or, you know, making little references or innuendos, you know, however sexual or whatever, but it's all in good fun. You know, definitely it was a funny spot, funny moment, you know, great dialogue, even though I was a bit, you know, preoccupied and entangled, if you will.
Do you have a favorite film or performance that inspired you to become an actor?
Oh man, I mean, there are so many performances, so many films. I mean, and I'm such a connoisseur or aficionado of cinema and film, and you know, different genres and different eras as well. You know, I mean, it's just so many. Probably maybe the most, I I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw you like a little wrench or whatnot. Probably one of my favorite movies, and you probably won't expect to hear this out of me or whatever. There's two versions, but it's 1959 version, Imitation of Life, starring the mighty Mahalia Jackson, Juanita Moore, and Lana Turner. Phenomenal classic film. Different time, different era, different subject matter, but it definitely hits home, hits the heart. It'll pull on the heartstrings and your emotions, and that pain will come up, and you might get a little misty eyed, start tearing up a little bit. But phenomenal performances from all the various actors in that film, and of course, just the vocal performance by the mighty Mahalia Jackson. I mean, and if you don't know who Mahalia Jackson is, I need to go ahead and go ask somebody, and go Google, look it up, whatever. But one of the most phenomenal, female vocalists, probably regarded and heralded as the greatest gospel singer of all time. But just her voice was just effortless. It was timeless and just natural, God-given, divine ability granted and bestowed upon her.
What's one thing about the acting industry do you think people misunderstand?
That things are easy, or things are supposed to happen like overnight, and they really don't. Like, you get a lot of people who aspire to be artists, and they travel from, their transplants, to LA, to California, from, all over the country or all over the world, and, with aspirations of making it and making it big and, being a big star. Well, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, you gotta love what you do. Nothing is given easily, freely. You gotta put in the work, respect the craft, hone the craft, and just really, do your due diligence. And if this is something that, you really, truly love to do, it's gonna be rewarding nonetheless. But all in all, you have to put the time in, you gotta put the work in, and, eventually you'll get your shot, you'll be on deck, you up.
How do you handle nerves or pressure before a big performance?
Man, kind of like when I used to, before a fight, like I'm getting ready for a fight, I kind of shadow box a little bit, shake the hands out, kind of bob around, dance around, and just relax, say a prayer, thank God, and just grateful in the moment, for every blessing. I mean, just the simple fact that I woke up and I'm here speaking with you is a blessing, that I got breath in my lungs and I got life and the sun's shining, and, I got another opportunity to get this thing called life right, which we will never get it right, but still, just another opportunity to just go ahead and, be a better person and better myself, and just continue to forward, a movement and forward whatever advancements for myself, for my family. And I'm all about breaking generational curses and, making sure that my kids and my kids' kids and kids and so on and so forth, got better, they do better, they see better.
One word, how you could describe or your experience filming the Daughters of Dolomite.
Hilarious.
Could you step into any other character in the film for a day, or would it, if you could, who would it be and why?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just all the characters were just so amazing, and just the work put in by the actors. But I could see myself as the one driver, the Uber driver that they had in there. You know what I mean? He was always chiefing it up, wagwan, brethren. You know what I mean? So again, not to give away too much about the film, but we definitely got love and respect for the Rasta culture. Yeah, man, wagwan.
All right. Last question. After the credits roll, what do you hope audiences take away from your experience? I mean, your performance, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. You know what? Who is that guy? You know what? Wow. I want to see more of him. What's next? What's going on? And just leaving an impact, an indelible impact on just the lives and perspectives of various people's, lives, and just, having them think like, man, that dude's funny, or you know what, he's good looking, or you know what, I can see him in this, or I see him in that, and just, taking, whatever opportunities that I do have to where they can, have an opportunity to see my skill set on display, full display, and I'm versatile. I got a wide range, and I'm down for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, from the action to the comedy to drama, horror, thriller, suspense. Hey, I'm here for it all.
All right, here's our rapid fire section. Favorite actor of all time?
Favorite actor of all time? Wow. It's quite a few that's up there in the conversation, but I know I can only give one. One of the most powerful actors, man, it's so hard because there's so many. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Denzel Washington.
Favorite movie ever?
Favorite movie ever? Oh man, it's hard, but you know what? Imitation of Life, 1959 version, Mahalia Jackson, Lana Turner, Juanita Moore is definitely up there in my top 5.
Comedy or drama?
Ooh, just depends on the vibe, but I prefer dramas.
Netflix or movie theater?
Movie theater.
One word to describe yourself as an actor?
Fearless.
Dream role?
Lead role, action film, period piece, some like Game of Thrones type, Conan, Gladiator type, whatever, and we just wielding the sword on horseback, because I ride horses too. I'm a cowboy, and we just going around in death and destruction and Lord of the Rings and saving the day.
Actor you'd love to work with?
Oh, Michael B. Jordan, for sure.
Favorite line from Daughters of Dolomite?
Oh man, favorite line from Daughters of Dolomite, man, it's quite a few. Like, just what everybody was saying, just their reaction when you say Dolomite. Daughters, Dolomite's babies, Dolomite's daughters. It's just how everybody was just perplexed and confused, but yet receptive to, oh man, well, hey, it makes sense, because, Brother Dolomite was that dude, and he got around for sure.
City you love filming in?
Oh, city I love filming in? Los Angeles, LA, West Coast.
Early morning shoots or late night shoots?
Early morning shoots.
Method acting or just go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
What motivates you every day?
Man, my kids, the future, God, life, just opportunity, just always having that drive and that fire to, want better, do better, be better, peace, power, progress, protection, and prosperity, and just want to, leave my kids and family, some real gems, before I leave.
One thing you always bring to set?
Humility.
Biggest pet peeve on set?
People complaining.
Favorite food after a long shoot?
Favorite food after a long shoot, man. We gonna go with, a nice T-bone steak, medium rare, nice glass of wine, maybe a cigar, some good sides and some fixings, or even some comfort food, you know what I mean? Like, because Pete Michael B. Jordan went to In-N-Out right after his Oscar win. I thought that was really dope, you know what I mean? But, hey, comfort food, man, fried chicken, collard greens, candy yams, you know what I mean? Like, that's my thing, that's my grandmama, and, or some arroz con, gandule, some, comida de, Borican, you know what I mean? Some Puerto Rican food, you know what I mean? Some pasteles, mofongo, you know what I mean? Tostones, like, I'm here for it all, you know what I mean?
Fame or respect?
Oh, respect, absolutely.
Awards or fan love?
Oh man, in order to get the awards, I mean, you got to have the fans, pretty much receive you and love you, you know what I mean? And you start to get that critical acclaim and, wide range, visibility and traction. And I'm just a firm believer, you love your craft, you put everything into it, you do what it do. Everything else is going to fall into alignment how it's supposed to, you know what I mean?
One word for Hollywood.
One word for Hollywood. I'm thankful, because who would have thought, you know what I mean? I'm a brother from the other side of the tracks, inner city Philadelphia, ex-military, you know what I mean? So many ups and downs, undulating moments in life, and never saw myself in Hollywood. It wasn't a thing. It's just something that just, kind of happened, but I don't believe in coincidences, and things organically manifested, to say the least.
Advice in one sentence.
Yo, just go for it, man. Just go for it.
Legacy. What do you want yours to be?
My legacy, God-fearing man, a man of integrity, a man of love, of conviction, fortitude, strength, tenacity. Basically the modern day proverbial, Rocky story. From Philly, from nothing, from disenfranchisement, poverty, just all these things that statistically are supposed to rule me out. So you know what? I'm not supposed to be here. And statistically I'm not, but by the grace of God and just, I believe, what you put, out there is what you get back. You reap what you sow. The universe, treat others the way you want to be treated. What you put out there, man, all that's gonna come back. So just keep being a good person and a person of love and discipline and integrity, and all those things are gonna manifest and be multiplied back into your life. Absolutely.
All right. That's the rapid fire. You already know it's the Refinery Podcast. Make sure y'all tap in, subscribe to Fireproof TV, and show some love to my boy Fernando. Go check out the Daughters of Dolomite right now.
Absolutely. And check me out. Happy Gilmore too. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
For sure. Brother Mo, I appreciate that.